Okay, so here we are. Just with Chris, another week, another chess stream. Um, I'm live every Monday and Tuesday, so happy you're with me. And thanks for watching. All the people who watch the VODs, the recordings. Haven't forgotten about you. Okay, so what I think I'm gonna do today is basically I'm going to play classical, basically games. I've been playing way too much fast chess. It's not good. I can feel my tactics slip away from me. Um, so 3 minute chess is fun and exciting, and so is 1 minute. I've been playing a lot of 3 and 1 minute with no increment, and it is kind of interesting, right? Because um, basically, there's always a chance to win, right? If you're ahead on the clock, you can still win. Um, but I think the more disciplined chess, right? The more like the real chess is, when you're down a pawn, you can't just start to play fast moves and hope for one on the clock. You got to fight back and use your pieces. So, so with that said, I think I'm going to transition into much slower chess, um, and really try to study and learn something. Maybe try to play some new position types, that kind of thing. I'm going to go ahead and click the classical button. Let's see where this leads. So yeah, that's the plan for today. Fewer but hopefully higher quality games is the name for today. Usually with the slower time controls, it's also a slower pairing. So, all right, so here we go. We have a pairing paired up, 2000 related player. This should be fun. Let's go ahead and get into play mode here. Okay, so here's my opponent. Let's see. He plays a lot of classical. He plays some rapid and very little blitz. Okay, wow. 1b4. I'm not sure what to call this opening. It doesn't. I mean, I guess it has a name. Not really sure. Oh, the Polish opening. Hey, thanks, Iguera. Okay, so I'm tempted to play like e5 here. But e5 is not normally a move that I want to play, so I think I'll play d5 first, and then if he lets me, I'll play e5 afterwards. Okay, so he's starting to take control over e5. So I just want to play like, what do I want to do actually? I'm always at a loss with these funky openings. Okay, let's just develop my pieces. I'm not going to worry too much about his ideas. I do need to be a little bit careful because I'm not really familiar with his plans, but there's no reason to rush. There's no reason to panic either. This is not. This opening is tricky, right? So I just gotta not fall into the traps. I should be okay. By the way, welcome, Iguera. Good to see you in the chat. I do have song request turned on. Hopefully, Nightbot behaves today. I wasn't sure if you were gonna show up. I saw a request from last time. It was still in the queue, but I went ahead and removed it. Okay. All right, so I'm gonna play e3. That threatens to take his pawn. I also just want to develop. All right, so he's pushing, which I find interesting. So I guess the knight is gonna have trouble, right, if he keeps this pawn here. But the knight can always come out this way. One of these two ways. I want to play c5 and tempt him to like take en passant, and then that helps me develop my knight. And if he doesn't take, then I can play like b6 and bishop b7. Kind of limits my bishop, but I want my bishop here anyway, so c5 it is. If he takes en passant here, I'm really happy. Otherwise, yeah, I just plan to develop here. I'm just trying to help control the center of the board here with c5. That's the main idea. Okay, so with e3, he's fighting back, right? Helping to control d4. I still have this issue with my knight not being able to move to its natural square. Although, d7 to b6 is also pretty natural. But I think for now I'm just going to develop my bishop and castle. There's kind of long-term ideas right here with the bishop on the knight. I may want to develop the bishop here so that the queen can move later. If I put the bishop on d6, which is a more active square, right, which is nice, but I don't want my queen to be tied down to the defense of the knight. I'd rather not deal with a fractured king side. Especially, with this pawn being coming down on my queen side, my king needs to go over this way. So the pawns staying here are more important. Okay, so with that said, I'm going to go ahead and play bishop e7. Convince myself to play a little bit more solid here. Okay, so with c4, it looks like a little bit like a Benoni, but my knight can't come here to defend and push this way. That's interesting. I mean, this is defended more than enough time, so I'm not really worried about taking here, other than the fact that he gets 2 center pawns and I would only have 1. But I suppose if he takes, I would take back with a pawn. So it would be this center pawn versus these two. Because I want to let my bishop out. I'm not concerned about him taking it all. I'm just going to castle. I'm using some time in the opening here just because I'm not very familiar with this the setup the white has. Okay. So I feel like knight here and here. I don't want him to play a4, a5. So maybe I'll give him one last chance to go en passant. So I can go knight a6, maybe into b4 and then back to the natural square. And that way, the pawn on a5 would help shield the knight from like ideas of a4, a5. And then my knight would still be. I'm just thinking move order. I'd rather not have the knight be on b6 while I take on a5, while I push on a5, because I want the knight to be here when he captures en passant, if he captures en passant. So a5 here first. All right. And now I want my knight on b6. Okay. He's still not castling, not developing his pieces. I feel like knight b6. Like he's defending this pawn, I suppose. So the knight b6 isn't a threat. I don't know. I'm starting to think of that I want to change my mind, like play b6 and bishop b7 as opposed to knight b6. Yeah, let's go ahead and with knight b6. So no need to change my mind right now. I'm just concerned a little bit about the pressure that he could put on this pawn. Yeah, like say knight here and bishop here and then queen here. Like this pawn could become a weakness. Well. One, two, three. I can't push here yet. It'd be nice to be able to get this move in. Real local Lewis. Hey, how's it going, man? Good to see you in the chat, man. All right. I'm playing slow chess today, and this guy's got me. Yeah, I think this knight b6 idea was. I'm already regretting it. I'm gonna go ahead and move it back. That was a terrible loss of tempo, but yeah, I think b6 really needs to be played. Sicilian? Not really. No, this was a Polish opening. So white started out with one b4. Sicilian would be, if white had his pawn on e4. So he started out with b4, and then I played d5. And after I played e6, he played b4. Or sorry, b4, he played b5. Yeah, and then it developed into this. All right, so now b6. Just keeping everything solid here. And then bishop b7, and maybe I'll play to break, to either capture here with bishop b7 opening up. So yeah, where the queen side closed there pretty quick, but the center is still dynamic, and of course a lot can happen on the king side. The king side could be risky. Yeah, I think I want to play bishop b7, and maybe capture here to open the bishop up. Capture or push, one of the two. If I play to push, I need to prepare it further because that obviously loses a pawn right now. Maybe the queen needs to be on c7. I bring my other rook in over here. There's no need to rush with moves like this. Just get all my pieces on good squares first. What is this song? This is a song that I put in here, but this is a more recent song. I haven't always had this in my queue. Things Behind the Sun. Okay, so I'm not sure what that is. It's kind of a waiting move. All right, I'm just going to continue to improve my pieces. I'm not sure why he put his rook on the c file. It's hard to imagine a situation where the c file opens up completely. Like maybe he's trying to push for this. Maybe he's trying to push d4 and then capture. Yeah, I'm not sure. I feel like my rooks belong on the D and E files, not on the C file. It's kind of interesting. Queen b3. Wow. Real local Lewis. I've learned in the Sicilian Dragon variation, which is good because I already know the King's Indian defense very well, and they're similar in quite a few ways. Yeah, I've been playing Sicilian Dragon for the past few months. I have a video series I keep meaning to watch on how to play the Sicilian Dragon. Maybe I should actually watch that at some point, but just knowing that I have a video on the Sicilian Dragon made me more confident in playing it. I don't know. That's funny. Like you buy a book and then you don't read it, but you still, I don't know. I don't know if it helps or not. Okay. So maybe 3. What is he thinking? And that doesn't really. I mean, it puts a little bit more pressure on this pawn, but I'm defending that like every way from Sunday. So I'm just gonna keep developing. But yeah, King's Indian and Sicilian Dragon is a great repertoire. You want like similar structures all the time. And you just got to change your plans based on what your opponent's doing. If they're a D4 player, then you play differently based on if they're E4. It's kind of neat. I played like that for a while, but instead of the Sicilian Dragon, I played the Pierz. So it was a little bit different. The move order is quite different. Like I would play C5 on move 8 as opposed to move 1. So, and sometimes I wouldn't play C5 at all. I'd play E5. Yeah, it was interesting. But I didn't like the Pierz at all, and ended up getting checkmated too many times. Okay, so with the knight supporting my other knight here, this bishop, I've wasted a lot of tempos, like moving this knight back and forth, and then now I want to move my bishop twice, but like I have a feeling that now that I want to play bishop d6. I'm not sure though. Kind of want to take here to open up the d file. I mean, I'm the only one with the rook on a d file, but he takes back with a piece, but then this pawn is weak, so yeah, let's try that. If he takes back with a piece, then knight here looks good for knight. Knight on b4 looks like a great outpost, especially if this pawn is still there, weak. And if he opens up the d file, then my rook is the only one here. Okay. D takes c4 seems natural. Pretty weak when I'm playing black. Play white, I'm so much stronger. With white, I'll play the London system or the Italian defense, which aren't massively different. Plus, I've been playing them for a pretty long time. So, yeah, London and Italian, they're like mirror images of each other. Yeah, one is definitely sharper than the other, just because of the weaker king side. But, all right. Yeah, so now the idea was to go knight here. I don't see any tactical problems with that. Bring the other knight to f6. Just trying to improve my pieces. The knights are better here and here. Like the knights are better here and here than here and here. And maybe even better still here and here. I keep calling this d3 pawn weak, but he could push d4 anytime he wants. Maybe that's the idea with the rook on c1. After he plays d4, the c file is probably going to open up with one of us exchanging here. That's something to keep in mind. The rook opposite the queen is a liability in a general sense. Higueras he's been enjoying the Trompowsky. I never played the Trompowsky, but I did play a close cousin of the Trompowsky called the Tory attack. You play knight f3 and then bishop g5 in the Tory, as opposed to just bishop g5 immediately. So yeah, d4, d5, knight f3, knight f6, bishop g5. I played that for years. I had a coach Actually, it's funny. I think I've said on stream before that I've never had a coach, but actually, I remember now I did have a coach one time. I had maybe 2 or 3 lessons with him, and he recommended that I play the Tori attack, which is why I started playing it for like I think I played the Tori for like 3 or 4 years. But so Local Lewis is probably talking about the Italian and London. They're so cool because they're similar. If your opponent plays a certain ways, you can actually merge the Italian and London system, which is strong. Merge. I'm not sure what you mean by merge. Italian and London are totally different openings, right? Different color squares. Like one's a light square, bishop opening, one's a dark square. Oh, wow. So playing e4, he's basically given up this square, right? I mean, not really. There's still 2 things here, but with my pawn attacking it. Interesting. So yeah, I want the knight here, like I said before. But he could still play this move. Well, now he would just lose a pawn, right? And he has to kind of work now to play this move because otherwise I'm just taking this pawn. Wow, I did not expect this move at all. Because now he's got like a backward pawn here. And after like knight here, the rook is helping control the square as well. I don't know. If I were to look at these 2 knights and compare them, I mean, mine is further in his territory than his is in mine. But his is actually focusing on a weak pawn, tying my queen down. My knight doesn't really have that kind of purpose right now. It's vaguely putting pressure here, but he's already got enough defending it. Like, I guess I have enough defending here. I could move my queen if I wanted. Like, this here is possible, right? Because my knight is defending. So it's similar. So the knights are actually doing similar purposes. They have similar purposes, but mine again is further advanced into his position. The world is bishop back there for. Oh, so that defends the e pawn, right? Okay, so now the rook defends the e pawn, and d4 is possible now. Hey, Lictopred, how's it going? And Song Request is on, man, so that should be coming up next, your Guilty Gear request. Okay, I kind of want to get rid of his good, like, playing bishop here, bishop f6, it helps get rid of his good bishop, right? His pawns are on light squares right now. And it also helps fight for this square. So that playing this move is more difficult. Actually, bishop here, can he play this anyway? If I just go take, let's see, I'm defending it twice. He's defending it twice. Yeah, we would just end up trading pieces there. I don't see any tactics with the discovery with the rook. Not right now, anyway. Still, I think this is the best move. And he can't play here. Again, I just take it. Right? Oh no, it's defended 4 times. No, I can't take that. Yeah, maybe knight here is better because if he pushes forward, I don't want my knight to get stuck back here. That's rough. If I move my knight, I'm threatening to take this pawn. Oh no, I'm not. It's only twice. Okay, wait a minute. Ah, there's so much going on in this position. Knight f6? Or sorry, bishop f6 or knight f6. I like knight f6 if he's going to play here, but I feel like he's more likely to play here. So in that case, knight f6 makes more sense because this pawn, again, it would be loose, right? I could just take it. It also helps the rook. Okay, yeah. So it opens up the rook. It fixes this pawn. Yeah, this is a better move. Pretty sure. Okay, now probably doubling up my rooks is a good idea. That might be a good plan. Ooh. Okay, so that looks like I need to looks like I'm either losing this pawn or I'm getting my pawns doubled because I didn't consider that. Wow. So if I move my queen, I'm losing this pawn, and if I block, he can take here. All right, but a lot of his major pieces are on the queen side, so I'm not too worried about that. I'll go in with this. Although wait, if he just takes, yeah, I lose the exchange. Oh, oh, some rock music, nice. Okay, yeah. If I just move my queen, actually, this traps my queen, right? I don't have any safe squares for her, so I have to give up the exchange here. There's no choice. Go ahead and pre-move this. Oh no, now he has this. Ouch. Tactics all day long. Yeah, I just missed that. Okay, maybe bishop here. It doesn't help, actually. He just moves his queen, and it does improve my bishop, though. Yeah, so I've lost the exchange. It looks like I'm losing a piece now. This game is probably all but over. I want to go back and look at this game in the analysis window. It's good to analyze. At least it's certainly good to analyze your slow games. I think I just yeah, I just totally missed a bunch of his ideas. I'm trying to understand why. As bishop coming here, I just completely missed that move. Game's not over yet, though. I'm down basically a whole rook for a pawn, and my king side's a mess, but there's still stuff to play for, I think. He's got weak pawns. He's got weak pawns. He's got I've got an open G file at some point. The Fuxia, hey, how's it going? Playing against a quite a bit stronger player. It's funny, Lichos paired us up just by with the auto pairing here, so I get paired 200 rating points down or up. How's everyone doing in the chat today? It's a Monday, right? Not everyone likes Mondays. The only reason I like Mondays is because it's the start of my chess week. streaming on streaming on Twitch. Okay. I'm a little bit nervous about King H1 just because of the pin along this file. Kind of want to play like H3, King H2, and then here, but I don't know if that's any better. Let's try it. See what happens. Electric Bread went swimming. Hey, that's fun. Is it warm enough to go swimming where you are? Wow. Okay, that's an interesting move. I can't push, and taking allows his rook to come in. It's nasty. And if I if I have to take back, he gets a pass pawn. Okay, given the choice between giving his rook more activity and giving him a pass pawn, I would choose giving him a pass pawn, or giving his rook activity. So let's go this way. Oh, an indoor pool. Okay, nice. The indoor pools are usually heated and everything, so there's no there's no there's no issues with temperature. That's really nice. All right, so the plan was king h2, then rook g1. What's the Olympiad? A chess competition, or has it got to do with math? Um, so yeah, so there's a chess Olympiad tournament. There's also a math Olympiad thing. Oh, I completely missed that he was attacking my pawn. Okay, let's just go forward with my plan. Yeah, I'm losing. I'm losing another pawn here. This is basically lights out. I don't know what to do here. Yeah, his rook is coming active. Maybe queen here is a threat. I don't know what else to do. It's not actually a threat, right? Because his bishop's here. All right, knight here. Probably my knight's getting trapped. I don't know where I can actually move him. Oh wait, that's just a free knight. Okay, I resign. All right, let's analyze this and figure out in the middle game. The early middle game there, I felt like I was doing okay, and then suddenly I just missed like a tactical shot or something. All right, so let's go into this analysis. There we go. You guys can see that better. But yeah. So I was doing okay. I did lose a bunch of tempo here, which was a problem. I shouldn't have done that. But you see, White's advantage is minimal now, so I should have been fine. Yeah. So my move was one of the computer suggestions. Although yeah, the computer likes going to the C file too with one of the rooks. That's funky. Like to me, the D file was going to open before the C file, and I wanted to be here, which it did actually. So it's funny. Oh, I see. Yeah, I wasn't thinking about this square at all, and this knight had a really important job of covering the square along with the queen, right? So this square here is loose. You consider the fact that both of his pieces and both of my pieces are attacking it. And you know, just moving my queen or my knight away allowed him to come in here. So that's I guess part of my problem is I wasn't thinking about his control of or over the square at all, or even the fact that his bishop and knight were coordinating along these pairs of squares here. Yeah, that's one of the main features of his pieces, like of his piece activity in this position, and it just didn't even occur to me at all that was a feature of the position. I was only looking at the pawn structure and what the pawns were doing. Wow. So that was my mistake here. Is not thinking about his piece activity and his piece coordination. So here, you know, I basically just got lucky, you know, thinking, you know, not really thinking too hard about this, and it just kind of happened that I undefended the square, and then he just like completely crushed me with this move, and losing like by a lot here. But otherwise, black was more or less fine. If I had kept this in mind, the computer said just bishop f6. That was the other move I was considering. I was just thinking about improving my pieces here, right? But one of them loses tactically immediately, and one of them is a nice, you know, it actually helps control the square, right? Bishop f6 actually helps defend this center square here. So, nice little lesson there. Center control. It's about more than just pawns, right? I mean, these two pawns are not the only two things fighting for the center here. I had to worry about the pieces as well. He actually had 3 different pieces focusing on this square, right when that became an issue for me. Yeah, after this trade, his knight came in, even more control over that square. It's funny, he could actually, like when I moved my knight here, he could actually have made this move. I mean, it wouldn't have won any material or anything, but he had enough control of the square to enter the square. It's just that at this point, it didn't win any material or anything because of my knight. But as soon as I went here, yeah, then he was winning by a lot. It's pretty cool. Pretty cool. So It's a nice little review. What does the opening book say about the way we started this game? I'm curious what happened here as far as the Polish. Yeah. So how should I actually play against the Polish? Um, so e5 is a normal move. d5 is also fine. Actually, d5 works even better, apparently. All right, so he played bishop b2, and I'm supposed to play knight f6. So I did, actually, knight f6. He played e3. No, he played knight f3. Okay, that's a move. And now I'm supposed to play bishop f5. I played e6, which is fine. But I guess bishop f5 is better. Lictopred, you're talking about Lichess? Yeah, it does. If you look on the Learn tab, there's a Chess Basics and Practice. Chess Basics and Practice both will teach you so much about chess. Chess Basics, I think, is like how to play, and then Practice, the Practice section, in the Learn tab is a really great way to, you know, if you learn all that stuff in the Practice, you'll be a 1500 player, no problem. Okay, or at least a 1200 player. I don't know. Anyway, okay, so the main move here is knight bishop f5, and then e3, e6, a3. So yeah, getting the bishop out of the pawn chain before you play e6 would have been nice. Knight comes here, you can take. All right, it's a nice little setup, actually. Okay, so but I played e6, and then what? We're still in book here, so b5. That's actually what he played. Oh, and my move c5 was actually the book move. Unbelievable. He played e3. That's so funny. We're following theory. I had no idea what I was doing here, but I was just playing moves, and we ended up in theory. Okay, but I played bishop e7 instead of bishop d6. Okay, that was kind of a mistake, right? Bishop e7 is not nearly as common. Bishop d6 is much better. And I guess I was just concerned about this. Oh, but that's the thing. I played my knight here anyway, right? I was concerned about being the queen being tied down to the knight when I played bishop e7, but actually, yeah, the knight's going to d7 anyway, so that's not an issue. The knight goes to d7, the bishop goes to d6, and the queen can still move because the knight's holding this knight. Yeah. Okay, so yeah, bishop d6 would have been much better. Again, with the fighting over this square. c4, and then just castle. And black does really well here. It's 33% wins and 67% draws, at least in master games. So it's a perfectly fine way to play as black. But yeah, bishop d6 is better. Should have done that. All right. So, but after bishop e7, we're still in theory. So c4. I think I castled. Yeah. Bishop e2. Knight bd7. Okay. Yeah, I didn't play that. I played a5. A5's not in book. All right. So I was the first one to go out of book, which I expected. Yeah, I lost a lot of time with a5 and then b6, having to move my knight here and then back. Yeah, that was pretty bad. Okay, but yeah, the computer likes black here. Before I went out of book, the computer prefers the black side. It's kind of funny to me. Okay, can you please turn down the music? Oh yeah, we can do that. Do. That should be a little bit better. This is pretty it's pretty in-your-face music, isn't it? Lower just a tiny bit more. Okay. Okay, so let's play another game here. Play another long game. Okay, this time I'm paired down. Let's see if I can win against this guy. It's about the launch of a Mars probe. Well, that's kind of cool. Yeah, we sent a whole bunch of stuff to Mars a few years ago, right? Maybe 5-10 years ago. The d4 knight f6. I always play c4 here. An epic event, so epic music. Yeah, that makes sense. Chariots of Fire. Nice. All right, e6. He's going to the Nimzo Indian. I think I'll go ahead and allow it. So knight f3 goes into the Nimzo Indian. Knight c3 goes into the Nimzo. Knight f3 is called the anti-Nimzo. But I don't know enough about this to play it. Play c3. Okay. Yeah. So this is the key move from the for the Nimzodian. So I play queen c2 here. Other moves are possible. Knight f3 is possible. But yeah, queen c2 is a little bit more solid. Keeps my pawn structure. It basically guarantees that my pawn structure stays intact. Okay, and I think the main move is just to capture here and then play e3. You take, he takes, and you play e3. Although I have seen Black give up this pawn as like a gambit. Like he'll play like b6 or d6, and then you take it, and he just wants to keep the pin there. But yeah, but taking here is the main move. All right, now e3. I just developed my queenside and castle. Maybe the bishop goes here. We'll see. Oh, this music makes me think I'm doing something really amazing. I'm just playing chess here. I'm not running a marathon or um I don't know. It is good background music though. Kind of fun. Okay, he played d5. Okay, I think I should ignore that. Because on c takes he can go e takes and then let out his bishop nicely. So I want his bishop to stay back behind his pawns. And I'm not worried about takes because that helps me develop my bishop. So I'm just going to develop my knight here. See if he'll take or something. I didn't consider d4, but yeah, I think that's just a trade, and then I can develop my bishop with tempo, I think. So d4, e takes d4, bishop takes d4. I guess knight takes, queen takes, and then bishop e3, and then I'm doing fine there. The theme from Antarctica. Was there a movie called Antarctica? What is this? It's a whole bunch of footage from Antarctica that I'm looking at, like whales and penguins and glaciers. I wonder if there was a documentary about Antarctica or something. It's kind of cool. It makes me want to check that out. One of my favorite documentaries was March of the Penguins, but I think that had more to do with the narration than the actual content. um, what was his name? Who narrated March of the Penguins? God, that was such a good movie. Uh, oh yeah, Morgan Freeman. Yeah, he did the American version. Best documentary was Bowling for Columbine. I've seen that too. That's a really older one. That's a much older one. I haven't seen that one since it came out. Yeah, Columbine. That was that shooting, right? With the guy in the trench coat. That was one of the first school shootings in the U.S. Right. Yeah, I had to stop wearing my trench coat after that incident. I had a nice trench coat that I really liked, but the guys who did the whole school shooting wore those trench coats, and like, it was kind of uncool to wear those for a long time after that shooting. That's kind of a callous thing to say. I should probably take that back. Like that's not the worst thing, obviously, that happened there. I mean, obviously, a bunch of people died, and it was a terrible, a terrible tragedy. But that's basically the only way it affected me. Yeah, Michael Moore. He's got a new documentary coming out, right? Fahrenheit 11/9. Um, yeah, Michael Moore is a good filmmaker. Someone said about Michael Moore that he does a good job of making important things interesting, which is a good thing, right? Like a lot of interesting things aren't very important, um, so it's good that he makes something important seem interesting. Um, Something like voting. Yeah, his latest documentary is about voting, I guess. Trying to make the case that everyone should vote, whether they think it matters or not. Which of course it does. All right, so I lost the tempo there by playing bishop e2 and then bishop c4. But I definitely want to get castled, and I didn't want to wait for him to attack the pawn. I didn't want it to wait him. Ugh, how do I say this? I didn't want to wait for him to take my pawn with my king in the center for so long. So I needed to play bishop e2 in order to castle, which is probably going to be my next move. And then I'll probably go b3, bishop b2, and put my rooks on the c and d files. That's the long-term development plan. Okay, so he wants to go like a3 or sorry, a6 and b5, hitting my bishop. So my bishop probably belongs here, which it'll do. It'll go just fine there, I think, after I castle. I'll go ahead and do that. Yeah, let's go ahead and do that. A Dutch author wrote a book about the Columbine shooters. Haven't read it yourself. Did a pretty deep investigation into the motives. Huh. Yeah, it's hard for me to say what their motivation was. I didn't know too much about that. Of course, I think it was in college. I was in university when that happened. So yeah, I was really focused on my own thing, doing my own thing at that time. Okay. Yeah, bishop backs, no problem. Although, I didn't think about that. Once the bishop comes here, I have to deal with this knight. Maybe bishop all the way back here might have been nice, just to not have to worry about this knight at all. After he goes bishop here, knight here is possible. I think. It seems so. Not sure if the book came out in English. Oh, okay. Well, I'm sure there was lots of people who looked into the motivation, like their motives there. Yeah, I didn't really look into that. So I'm considering bishop here. After the trades, I have tempo on his rook. He just moves his knight though. Yeah, let's go here. Seems okay. Hmm. It's more active than coming back here. Let's try it. I think he could just trade once, right? And then like play like bishop back to to keep the bishop pair, which I don't know, it doesn't scare me that much right now. I don't normally like to give it the bishop pair, but I don't know. Oh, more Guilty Gear. Hey Anand, your song is up next. Um, it'll be right after this song. My queen is tied down to my knight. But my knight can always come back here, and he can't really attack my queen at the moment. So I'm just gonna focus on developing my bishop. After he moves his knight, he will be able to attack my queen. I'll deal with that then. Okay, so here we can trade queens, and then move my knight. But my knight's kind of dominated by the star square bishop. I'd have to come back like here, I guess. I don't really want to trade knights or trade queens. But the only way to avoid trading queens is to like queen here and allow this, and then come back, or just come back in general. That blocks in my rook. I can also move my knight back here, but that allows him to double up my pawns. It also pins my knight. He has like b4 here to attack my knight after it's pinned. That's no good. So that's much worse. Okay, so I think I'll just come here, and then put my knight back here. I look really passive here. I'm not sure why. I mean, I guess he's gained some time having not moved his knight or whatever. Like I'm the first one. Like here, I complete my development, but he just completes his right afterwards. So, oh my God, move order, Chris. I was planning on going here and then here, and I just totally missed it. Now I'm gonna lose this game because I'm sitting here talking about stuff. Ah. Oh, sorry, Anand. Looks like some YouTube videos have a setting on them saying that they can't be embedded in other pages, and Nightbot is a page where they try to embed the video. So I'm sorry about that. It wasn't able to play your request. I'm not sure even how to check on something like that before you request it or whatever. So sorry about that. But yeah, now the song that's being requested here is from Lictopred. It's Vangelis Mythodea, Movement 2. Some kind of sounds like some kind of 20th century classical music. Erwin Schrödinger. But yeah, I'm a piece down now, which sucks because I didn't remember which which order of my moves that I was gonna make. Wow. Well, I'm not really sure how to keep fighting here, honestly. Like Maybe this is worth considering. If I go here and he goes here, my knight doesn't have anywhere to go, actually. I could come here. But then here, and then my knight has to go back there. Okay, let's try it. Stay healthy bot with a reminder. It's nice. There's some kind of warning label here on the bottom of the on the bottom of the thing. I guess you guys see this every time I drink out of it. Yeah, I need to stay hydrated. I think I've told this story before. When I first started streaming, I had issues with my voice. I don't really want to trade rooks or anything, so let's come over here. My voice like literally hurt. It hurt to talk for days and days and days after one of my first streams of streaming for like 4 or 5 hours in a row. It was painful. So I set up a stay hydrated bot after that. Now I'm always reminded to drink my water. Okay, yeah. So again, I'm trying to avoid trades. Knight here looks like a good move. Hits this pawn. Ties his knight down to this square because the rook coming here would be kind of a problem. Yeah, non. Sorry, I tried to say something about that. It skipped your song. We tried to set up a song for you. Another copy, a different copy of the same song. It should be coming up in another. Let's see. Bum bum ba da. Well, it'll be a while. Apparently, they don't give me times here, but there's like 4 or 5 songs now. Bum bum ba da. So when you get in gold is now number 4 on the list. Fortunately. I can't come back here because of rook here. I can't go here or here or here. I can go here. Good hydration is paramount to good chess. Well, now I'm drinking my water. Maybe I'll finally play well. I haven't been playing well so far with the stream. I mean, just a piece down for nothing. I don't know. And he has the 2 bishops. Yeah, it's kind of a depressing position to be in. I don't know what else to say about it. Like, I'm trying to create chances, but he's putting all these pieces on good squares and whatnot. Oh, I love this song. Who requested this? The Fuchsia. Light of the Seven. This is one of my favorite songs from Game of Thrones. It's so gorgeous. In fact, in a lot of channels, when I visit, like, say, I don't know, another channel with song request, I'll request this song on purpose just because I want to hear it. I'm just getting dominated here. Like, my bishop can't go anywhere. I have to go back. I mean, it's a really sad scene in Game of Thrones. I mean, of course, there's so many sad scenes in Game of Thrones, but this music really, really captured the heartache of the mother in the end of this episode. And I guess the reason why the kids, committed suicide and what all those people dying in the it was the episode where all the people died in the church. They were doing some kind of ceremony. I forgot what. Comes here now, it works. Oh, he didn't do that. Interesting. So now this is an issue, right? He has to come back this way. That's good for me. It was somehow satisfying seeing Cersei getting her revenge. Yeah, I don't know. Like Cersei is such an unlikable character, but okay, surely this can't work. Like, am I only a pawn down now, or does he have some kind of crazy thing? Oh, he can take another pawn actually. So I'll be 2 pawns down if he takes this pawn and I take his bishop. So that was good. It's a nice little rook fork. Tactics. Like when my opponent won his extra piece, it's because I didn't play the right move in the right order. And I think when I won this piece, it's because he didn't see this nice tactic. So I feel like I have to work a little bit harder for my pieces than he does, but hopefully that will stop here. Can he fork your king and bishop? Aha. Well, but then king here and his knight's hanging as well. But I guess knight here is possible. Check. Yeah, and then he takes here. Yeah, maybe so. Because everything is hanging, right? Like there's too many things hanging. Hey, Guerra. Looks like I'm not winning a piece actually after all. Oh wow. Maybe I am? That was unnecessary. Like he still needs to save this bishop and then I can save mine. Oh, maybe I can't. Actually, this bishop is trapped. But after he saves his bishop, I can attack his knight, right? I'm still 2 pawns down though. Could be a third actually. Ah, maybe you could have kept the king close to the knight. Um, maybe. I mean, after I take one of his bishops, though, the rook wouldn't have been on the knight. I would much rather have the bishop and not trade the rook than have the knight and have to trade the rooks. Um, that was my idea there. I'm like 4 pawns down now. Like I would rather be a piece down than 4 pawns. But I'm threatening stuff against this king, I guess. There's an obvious rook discovery here that I have to avoid. Knight here or king here allows this. That doesn't do too much though. I think my king needs to come over here to defend against these pawns a little bit. Take bishop with a pawn. Yeah, I see what you mean. I didn't think too hard about that. Yeah, I guess I wasn't ever going to take his knight with my rook because I didn't want to trade rooks. Anyway, okay, so he didn't need to be a piece down, but now he's got like 4 pawns or whatever. So, and I'm realizing now that I haven't used hardly any of my time. So king over makes a lot of sense to me. Keeps his like it fights for the initiative, right? So it attacks his rook while still keeping this threat alive. King here, rook there though, and I'm just coming back over to these pawns. But king here is obviously not a threat, and then he can deal with this. See what happens. I just realized this guy's name is Pawns Will Prevail. So yeah, he's got 4 extra pawns. Pawns will prevail indeed. That's hilarious. Huh. So knight here looks to be a threat. I mean, I think he can just move his. If he just moves, oh yeah, he can just move his. Wait, no, he has to go here, right? The knight here, he has to go here. And then he's threatening this check, winning a pawn. Then I have to deal with my knight. Honestly, he could probably just take my knight, give up the exchange, and he's still winning because my rook can't deal with all these pawns. I don't think. Anyway, let's go into this. See what happens. Okay, this music is so soft. I'm gonna turn up the volume. Yeah, I mean that's as loud as it goes. Super soft here. I may need to turn that down soon. More Ramin Djawadi. Nice. So Ramin Djawadi is the guy who did all the music for Game of Thrones. He's someone to really take note of. Really great composer. He also did the music for what's the other Game of Thrones? The other HBO series is so good. The one with the robots. What's it called? Westworld. He also did all the music for Westworld. So the same guy who did Game of Thrones also did Westworld. It's a really great composer. I love the music in both of those series. No. Westworld and Game of Thrones. Yeah. Oh wow, he did take the rook, or he did take the knight. Unbelievable. So now I feel like I have a little bit more of a chance than I did before. Yeah, all he had to do was like go rook here, and he wouldn't have lost any material. But here he just lost the exchange for nothing. Like I don't see what the point. I guess he's trying to simplify. Maybe he's thinking like simplifying is better than being just 4 pawns up with fewer pieces is better than being or no, it's like 2 pawns, right? Because the knight's better than the knight. The rook is better than the knight. Reverie is from Westworld. Oh, the song we requested, Reverie. Oh, nice. Okay, so this is a fork. I want at least 1 pawn back. I just got to be careful not to get the knight forking my king and rook, or king and pawns or something. So just be on the lookout for knight forks and use the rook to my advantage. Okay, so I'll take this pawn. You'll probably use this knight to defend this pawn. And I think this rook would be able to hold this pawn while my king comes over and defends this. We go here now. I'm expecting knight here, and then I'll play my king up toward the king side. Yeah, knight forks can be a pain. A nice little trick to remember is that the 2 squares that the knight that can be knight forked are always on the same color. So if I keep my king on the light squares now, he can never fork me ever. Because my rook's on a dark square. So it's a nice little trick. Okay, so I want to move my king in, but I don't want. Oh, this knight's all right. So that pawn is pinned. I can go king f4. Sorry, king e4. I'm also thinking about g4. I guess I need to think about like what I'm playing for. Am I playing for a draw or a win or what? I mean, he's only a pawn up now. He's got like 2. Wait, he's got 3 pawns for the exchange. Yeah, so that's more than enough. 2 pawns for the exchange is probably enough in the end game. So he's got 3. Let's go king up. See what happens. I expect him to move his more, further pawns. Okay, so now we finally get back to your song, Anand. When You Getting Gold, it should be coming up. Oh no, it's after this song, DJ Crush, Beyond Raging Waves. So this song is 4 minutes long, and then Anand, your song should be next. Yeah, the time advantage doesn't really mean anything unless the position becomes so complex. Okay, yeah, g4 is a good move. I was thinking about playing g4 myself. So you got that in before me. So I need to avoid trading pawns if I'm trying to play for a win. If I only have one pawn left, he can just take it with his knight and be assured at least a draw. Um, but if I play g3, he has knight f3, so that would be bad. But if I don't move these pawns, I think I'm okay. But then what do I do? Like, how do I improve? Like, the rook is nice because it's pinning this pawn and putting pressure here. I don't want to move my pawns. My king can't really... I mean, coming forward doesn't make sense. Not that way, anyway. I like to go here, but I can't. Hmm. Is that a good trade? Maybe trading this pawn for this one is okay. I'm not sure. I mean, I think part of the problem with his knight is he's pulled in too many directions, right? So, like, keeping his pawns on one side of the board might be better for the knight in that situation. Okay, so I'm just noticing actually this pawn can't move. Even if I were to move my rook off of this file, the pawn can't come forward just because I take this pawn. So let's come back here and actually threaten to do some damage on the behind his king, you know? Oh, he just gave me this pawn. Oh, no, I can't take this pawn because of the check. Owie. Alright, so I'm gonna come back here. Yeah, this knight fork would be game over immediately. Alright, let's come back then. That was a good move. I just totally just missed that because of this pawn, but yeah, this knight check is a big deal. Ah, and now he has even more even more stuff going on, actually. Okay, so let's go king here. I don't see how he defends this pawn. Oh, he can just go move forward. Okay. Man. Taking here would have led to this knight fork. Yeah, he just pushes. Okay, so let's put him in check. Maybe I can make some threats with my rook. So did it skip over that song again, or Anand? Did you hear your song? I think it skipped over it again because that one couldn't be embedded. Yeah, that was probably the same song, the same exact link as he requested. It's unfortunate that that happens. So I think the most I can hope for is a draw here, but I would be lucky to get a draw, I think, at this point. He's got too many pawns. There's no way I can hold on to mine. Obviously, if I take here, this king of pawn endgame is way lost. But maybe the rook can get in behind the pawns and make some threats, or at least, have some kind of perpetual maybe. That's all I'm thinking of right now, is just trying to figure out a way to get a perpetual or win some pawns. The rook can get kind of far away from the king now, so maybe the king needs to stay and watch over pawns that might be here, so that could be an issue for him. This pawn does a nice job of cutting off the king so that it can't get around to the other side of his pawns. So, Higuera says the pawns will prevail. Yeah, let's hope not. I don't want to lose. So I wonder, is this the actual Zelda song, or was this like a cover of someone playing the Zelda song? It's kind of funny. So rook here means that he has to come back with his king to defend the knight. Because if he moves the knight, he loses his pawn. Sounds like the original music. Okay. Yeah, I didn't play this particular Legend of Zelda, I don't think. Yeah, Ocarina of Time, I think, was for Nintendo 64, maybe? Yeah, I don't think I ever played Zelda after... Or maybe this was SNES. I didn't play Zelda at all after the original on Nintendo NES. So yeah, having his king move backwards seems like a good idea. Nintendo 64, yeah, okay. Okay, so here we are with Westworld music. One of your favorite games. Wow. I never even touched it. I had no like I didn't even read a review or anything of it. The first Legend of Zelda, it was so difficult for the Nintendo. I wasn't really happy playing it too much. Yeah, I don't think I have any choice here but to trade off my last pawn. Let's see what happens though. I think after rook here, I'm winning. I'm not, because he can just go back here. He can defend one with a knight. Okay, now I'll play rook here. My idea is just to keep his king away from the keeping his king away from the pawns. I'm gonna cover all these squares. I may be playing too fast here. I don't know. The game certainly got interesting when he gave up the exchange. Um, not being a piece down is a big deal. Just wish he didn't have so many freaking pawns. As his username says, I'm afraid the pawns will prevail. Okay, so king up. Seems logical. Huh. So king takes, he can't push, right? Because of rook takes here. Maybe he's thinking like knight check here. Oh wait, king. I can just take here. I think this is a miscalculation by him because I can take this pawn, and I guess he was thinking he could just queen, but I have rook takes knight. Unless there's something I'm missing here. He has a check, but I just take this other pawn as well. Like after I take his pawn, I'm threatening to take his knight, so he has to move his knight. And even if he puts me in check, I just take his pawn. Yeah, Aguera, I agree. It's confusing. But yeah, I don't know. It's funny because like, a lot of players, I guess, would resign after being a piece down for nothing. This shows you why you shouldn't resign. Like I'm pretty sure I have a forced draw at this point. If I win one of these pawns, I can always sack my rook for the last pawn. That's a forced draw. But now I have winning chances, right? Like if I could win the last pawn somehow by putting him in zugzwang. See, the knight, when the material becomes balanced like this, the reason the knight is not so good anymore is because of its limited mobility, right? The rook is a lot harder to put in zugzwang. So you offer to draw, but yeah, no, I'm not gonna. I'm gonna decline the draw offer because of the because I think he's gonna keep blundering basically. So I'm the only one with winning chances now, is what I'm trying to say. So let's come back over here. Suddenly I'm the one that can play for a win, not him. I'm certainly not gonna lose this game. Okay. So maybe he has a little fortress here, and I'm not gonna be able to. Because if I go around with my king, I'm in danger of. No, I'm not. I'm really not. I can still break through with like king here, for example. I was thinking, my king can never go forward, but I can still just go around. So now that my rook is cutting off his king from from basically the second rank. Okay, so now he just gave me this square. Yeah, he's in big trouble now. I'm likely to checkmate him at this rate. Okay, so he's stepping out of the checkmate, but now I think I'm winning this pawn, right? Because the rook is going to threaten the knight. The knight's going to have to move away, and I'm taking this pawn. Now it's still a theoretical draw, knight versus rook, if he knows how to play it. I'm not sure if he knows how to play it yet, but we'll see. So I take the pawn, and it's a theoretical draw, right? If he knows how to play it. I'm not going to tell him how to play it if he's listening. Let's see what happens here. How do I make his life the most difficult? I mean, ah. I actually studied this draw on stream. Oh, that's just main one. I studied this draw on stream um, not too long ago, actually. I think it was Tuesday last week. I I studied like the theoretical way to draw a knight versus rook like this, and the idea is that you don't ever want to move the like you don't want to separate these two. The problem now though is that the knight and the king and knight in the corner actually become very difficult. I'm not even sure he can hold a draw. Let's look at the um. So yeah, this is a draw here. He just allowed he needed to play the knight like away or something. Yeah, knight c7 or knight g7 would have been fine for black. Total draw, but he just allowed mate in one. This is kind of tricky to see, I think, because I can come here and threaten mate in one, but he just comes back here, and then if I try to pin the knight or something, he just comes back to defend it. So yeah, as long as the king and knight don't get separated by too much, this is definitely a draw. But Yeah, he just missed mate in 1 somehow. Sure. It definitely need to move his knight when my rook was on this square here. So yeah, it's fun. Yeah, Aguera, I agree. Definitely felt like I was losing when he had all those pawns, but he just kind of let me have them. Oy. And then, when I gave up my last pawn, when I traded off my last pawn, I'm thinking, okay, the best I can hope for is a draw here. And really, that should have been all the best I should hope for. Like once we reach this material, it's just a draw. But anyway, hey Swag God, hey welcome to Chess with Chris. Okay, so that was a fun win. I didn't deserve to win there. Oh, looks like I had a win earlier as well. Where was this? Like from this position, it's mate in 35, mate in 33. Holy crap! So king f6 apparently was mate, and the move I played, king g6, is not a mate; it's a draw. Let's see this win here. King f6, and he has to play knight e8 check. Oh, wait, oh, mate in 23 now. Yeah, Stockfish likes to jump around with like bigger than 10, mate in 10. So king. Oh, actually, the endgame thing here gives it perfectly. So king f6 is winning, distance to mate 42 half moves. So that's like mate in 20 or 21. So king f8 is the perfect move, and then rook a8 check. Here, king e6, h4, rook b8, h3, king d7, winning the knight. King g8, you win the knight. King g7, then you win the pawn. h2, h3, taking on h2, and then it's just a mate in 13 with the rook and the king. That's crazy that I was able to force the win of the knight. Why wasn't he able to move the knight away? Like, oh, I guess it's pinned, right? And if he moves, oh, I see. If he breaks the pin, then I take the knight. And after I take the knight twice, he can't defend it. That's pretty funny, actually. If I had an earlier win, I didn't go take advantage of. What a crazy game. Crazy freaking game. Looks like my opponent clicked the analysis button, which is good. I don't have to spend one of my 30 a day. Although, to be fair, I don't think I've ever run into the 30 a day limit. Did you guys know that? On leechess.org, you can only analyze with the computer 30 games a day. So yeah, that's something to remember if you ever want to analyze a ton of games. It's not very often that I play 30 games a day, and if I am, I'm certainly not analyzing them. But anyway, let's play another one. How you doing, Swag God? You've been a pretty good regular in the channel since you discovered me. It's nice to see someone appreciates the Chess with Chris channel. But all right, e4. I play the Sicilian. Oh wow, 2150. Oh boy. Okay, so knight c3. He's playing a closed Sicilian. I don't really know the best way to approach the closed Sicilian. I never really studied it all that much. The open Sicilian, much more common. I'm gonna play g3. God, I love this song. Billy Joel. Just the Way You Are. It's a good song request. Alright, so he's playing the Grand Prix attack. Okay. That's with e4, f4, and knight c3. I think I'll play bishop g2. Hello, Imhane. Welcome back, man. Long time no see. Alright, I think I'm gonna play d6 now. Okay, so I'm playing slow chess again. So maybe this is why certain people are back. I I gotten into this habit of playing a whole bunch of blitz chess recently. Last week I did some like legit instructional material where we went over some end games, which actually happened to be prove useful in this last game. It's kind of nice. I knew something about how to draw there as black, which looks like my opponent did not know. Okay, but anyway, we're in this new game here, Grand Prix Attack versus the Dragon. I just want to develop my knight, castle. What order should I do that in? Probably castle first, right? Let's castle and then worry about the queenside later. All right, so with the bishop, it's funny. Like this is kind of a mirror of the a little bit of a mirror of the London, but except for the pawns here, and I don't have a pawn here. But something that a common thing that I've noticed is pinning this knight and then moving in with the knight here. I wonder if that's possible. Let's move the knight first. It's the slowest. It's going to take 2 moves. But yeah, after bishop here, he probably just kicks the bishop away. I wouldn't really want to trade, would I? Maybe I would. Okay, is it going to skip to the next song, or is it doing the stupid thing it did last week? Let's give it a second. I'm not sure why it's not playing the next song yet. We do have another Gotan project, Paris, Texas here is coming up. But it's not playing. Okay, I'm going to skip to the next song. All right, A4. A4 is kind of a weird move, I gotta say. With the pawns pointed towards the king side, I would think he would want to attack my king side. Both of his bishops are pointed towards my king side, but A4 seems to be like, he wants to start some attack on the queen side, which is strange. I don't get it. Maybe he's looking for a retreat square for his bishop, and he wanted to play a more aggressive move than A4, A3. I'm not sure. Stopping B5. Yeah, I mean B5 was never a threat. I'm not sure. Yeah, A6 B5. Yeah, that does stop A6 B5. Yeah, I mean, I'm gonna put my bishop out here. I'll probably even trade it off for this guy. He takes back with the queen, the knight comes here with tempo. He has to move his queen all the way back, so yeah, so let's just grind out those moves. Oh, he doesn't move his queen all the way back. He goes queen here. That's interesting. So if I move my knight, I have a nice little threat. I'll put my knight here. It's a cute threat. I don't know if he'll see it or not. He probably will. Oh, actually, it doesn't even work. Okay. Let me show you guys what I was talking about. I was thinking about putting my knight here, attacking the rook, and then threatening to pin the queen to the king. But he just has bishop d3 or bishop e3. That's so stupid. I was just totally imagining that. Now this move looks terrible because I was hallucinating this being a good idea. He just has bishop e3. All right. Okay, so how does this move ever make sense? Maybe if I play e5, maybe that's the idea behind that move. I'm not sure. But e5 kind of looks bad because my bishop, right? I don't want to block in my bishop like that, right? I also could be wanting to play f5. That makes sense, right? Because the knight's supporting f5. Yeah, f5. So after f5, it has a new hole. Oh, you're saying f5, put the knight in on e5. That's possible too. Yeah, if he plays f5 first, then yeah, knight e5 would be fine. Otherwise, I want to play f5 myself. So let's go for that then. Yeah, I got what you meant. So yeah, knight here doesn't look too pointless because I'm threatening to play f5 myself. which I would actually like to play. That would be a fine move, I think. Okay, so we made sense of it after all. Even if my original intention was awful. You hate playing against this setup? You're doing better than I normally do. Oh, you're talking about when they play the Grand Prix? Huh. Yeah, I don't know. I've had quite a lot of experience in the Sicilian in the last not too long. So now e6 prepares f5 again. Right now f5 looks bad, I think. I mean, it's only attacked twice, right? But the g file opens up. I'm not sure if that's good for me or good for him. Probably better for him. That's hard. I don't know. It's difficult to argue actually. Oh, I can't play f5, right? The bishop's pinning it. Unbelievable. Grand Prix isn't so scary if you know the theory, especially the bishop c4 line is good for black. Interesting. So I think e6 maybe makes some sense here, because then I really actually can play f5. I can't play f5 now, right? Because the pawn's pinned. So again, after his f5, I definitely want to play knight e5, so that's fine. I'm okay with that. And if the f files opens up, I'm almost prepared for that. Just need to get my queen away so that the rooks can be connected. I do like e6 though. Let's try that. Alexia says, "Can I post links? Study, yeah. A link to Lichess is fine. That's no problem at all. I don't allow links in general, but YouTube links for song requests, Lichess links for studies and games that you want me to look at, that kind of thing. Yeah, those are totally fine." I believe my rules actually state. I don't know. I actually had to pull up my rules. Wait, when you started to chat, wasn't there a little box that popped up with my rules? I think there was, but it's good to ask for clarifications. I appreciate that. All right. So now the question is, do I trade here before I play 95? If he trades, then there's a neat little discovery against the queen. I think not losing any time, moving the knight here is fine. Yeah, let's do that. It's just a stub so far, but it covers the bishop c4 line. Oh, nice. That's a good point. Now he has a thorn pawn here. That's rough. I'll bring my bishop back, and now my bishop is basically out of the game. That's really unfortunate, actually. Yeah, I'm not sure how. I mean, he's going to play his pawns forward, and this bishop's basically dead. Ouch. I did not consider him playing f6 at all. That's why I should have traded instead of putting knight here. Man. Swagot says, "I'm very good at the scholars, mate." We each have our strengths and weaknesses, man. Good to know what yours are. That's funny. I can't really even say what my strengths are. In chess, anyway. I hope one day to say endgames. Like, I really want to be a good endgame player. I was a little bit better at endgames, obviously, than my last opponent. That's why I won that game. But I still don't think I'm all that great at endgames. the thing that gets me about stuff like close Sicilian Grand Prix. Like Grand Prix is a move order by white to me, where they just play knight c3, e4, and f4. But black can respond to that in so many different ways. And how does that work? Like when you talk about theory in a line, like the Grand Prix is a response to almost every Sicilian, right? I mean, it could be a response to the Najdorf. It could be a response to the classical Sicilian, or in my case, like the dragon. I don't really follow. Okay, that's weird. He just allowed me to check and then take. All right, I'm gonna do that. I can't believe he let me do that. No, you don't get a Najdorf Grand Prix. No, but that's what I'm saying. Like to me, the Grand Prix is a move order by white that doesn't even take into consideration white doesn't play d4. Right, but you can still play a closed. You can still like play the Najdorf as a response to like a closed Sicilian, right? I mean, can't you? Like people play all the Sicilians, and then white can decide whether or not to open or not. So if you play the Najdorf, then it's white's decision whether to open the board or not. Yeah, I don't really understand all that, actually. Maybe I should stop talking. Okay, now the question is, do I take with the bishop or the queen? Probably the bishop. A6 makes no sense against the closed Sicilian. Maybe so. Yeah, because A6 is the Najdorf, right, where you're playing D6 and A6. I mean, the knight is on C3, and you're trying to control B5 away from him. Like, I don't know. I don't know. I wonder if there's something tactical that I missed here. Like, why did he let me do that? I'm shocked. I mean, I expected him to play G5 immediately after my bishop moved back, but he didn't do that, and now I got the F6 pawn. The main says, would an eventual A6 not be a potential plan, though? Expand on the queen side in the close Sicilian. Yeah, I have played that way before. Ooh, what is this song? Hey, it continued to the next song. Nice. Oh, Bee Gees. Nice. Is this the original Bee Gees? I guess it is. Yeah, this is their this is like the actual Bee Gees YouTube channel. Nice. Bee Gees has some classics. I think my favorite Bee Gees song is How Do You Mend a Broken Heart? I used to play I actually learned to play that song, and then I was playing it on piano as like a jazz arrangement. It was kind of an upbeat thing. So I made my own arrangement of that song. That was really fun. Yeah, it is getting complicated. I'm kind of postponing thinking about all the complexities until it was my move. So I was mostly thinking about the fact that the knight's pinned right now, right? But he can't really add any pressure onto it. So I just want to unpin, right? Either move my bishop out or back. Bishop out seemed kind of nice, but I feel like my knight kind of needs to be here. Like my knight needs a way to retreat so that it doesn't lose a pawn. Like knight here would lose a pawn, right? He just takes twice here. So imagine my bishop was back here. I don't know, actually. After bishop here, he has to move his queen like here. That's like the only safe space for the queen. And then I have knight back here. Stay healthy, bot. Go ahead and have some water. So bishop here, queen over, knight back. I'm not losing a pawn there. But my bishop has left the king side, right? So his bishop could infiltrate this way. That's kind of a downside of that line. But I like the fact that I'm saving my piece. I'm breaking this pin with tempo. Like, he has to respond to this with queen here. It's literally the only safe move for the queen. And then I have knight back here with more tempo on the queen. He either takes and he has to move his knight. Lexi, I understand, man. I originally thought that he also had the option to play queen g1, keeping the pressure on the square. Then I'm like, oh no, the knight takes it. Now that was my initial thought as well. But yeah, bishop here, he doesn't have the pressure here, so that makes my retreat here. Yeah, my only real issue though is that the bishop is here instead of here. My king side is just looking, with bishop h6 as an option. I'm not sure that I want my bishop on h4. I mean, I've already won a pawn, right? Like, I've won a pawn. I don't need to be that greedy, do I? I think my pieces are more coordinated and stuff if I just keep my bishop back to g2. And then the knight can come back here, or even the queen can jump up to help. I don't know. You like that line just because you exchange your bishop for a knight, or am I missing something? What? No, I don't think he will take here. I like the line because it eliminates this pressure, right? So right now I can't move my knight because he takes my bishop. So I'm trying to think of a way to eliminate that with tempo, and bishop here threatens the queen, and then I can move my knight. If he takes it, it's not an issue. So that's why I looked at it. I looked at it because he could take it, and I decided it wasn't an issue for me. And I just like it because it's forceful, right? Like, I go here, he has to respond here, and then I go back, and I've saved my position being a little bit precarious here with stuff defending each other. Like, this bishop's awful loose with the knight being pinned. I could go knight here, check as well, but then the knight has no squares. Like, bishop back later. Like, king moves, bishop back, and then like my knight is kind of stranded over here. That's no fun. I'm spending a lot of time on this move. But my issue with bishop g2 is that I can't come back here, and coming back here is no good, like as I just said. So yeah, bishop here. Let's do it. No, I don't think he would give up his dark square bishop for my knight if I move back here. Yan Gao, it's not. I just looked at that line because I wasn't sure if it was any good for him. Okay, yeah, so that's an only move. And now I'll attack his queen again. And if he trades, I'm happy, right? Because I'm the only one with the dark squared bishop. But if he moves his queen again, then maybe I'll take his light squared bishop, so that he doesn't have the bishop pair any longer. I'll pre-move this recapture. This feels good. I'm up a pawn, I guess, at 2150. After being down a piece from a 1700, being up a pawn from, I guess, a 2150 is such a big deal. Such a big difference. Okay. So he's moved his knight to attack this pawn. This knight is in a nice position as long as this pawn's here, so I do want to defend him. Queen here is an idea. I'm really kind of surprised he took my knight, but I guess he's thinking this is a weak pawn. I could also move my knight back and then play here, but that extends the scope of his bishop and makes my bishop awfully bad with all the dark squares covered by pawns in the center. Maybe that's not such a big deal because my bishop could like live outside the pawn chain. Yeah, let's go for that actually. I don't mind my bishop being bad because it's outside the pawn chain already. If my bishop was back here, I would think twice about that. But with it being so active out here, I'm more or less fine with this. The bishop vacated g7, but it looks mighty fine. Yeah, I hear you. That's what I was just thinking. Lots of dark squares, holes for white. Yep. I'm also thinking they look more like outposts in this setup. All the holes as well as Imhane says. Yeah. Yeah, so like once the pawns defend each other nicely, both of these squares look like nice outposts for the bishop. I'm not really sure how to get the knight active again, because right now the knight's just defending these squares. But hopefully we can figure that out later. So right now I'm threatening like a6 to push the knight way back to a3. That would be kind of a nice line. Yeah, true, Flexia. It's funny, like you guys say stuff and I'm already thinking about it. I swear I'm not cheating by looking at the chat. So he played c6 or c3. Yeah. So now if I trade, right, I undouble my pawns. I don't have a weakness, so I'm kind of happy to do that. Oh, he went with a pawn. Wow. So now his knight really does have to go back to a3. His knight here I take, and then he has the double pawns. Let's do that. So now my knight can get active here, maybe. What is this, Japanese? A Japanese oldie. Oh, that's so funny. It's like learn how to sing Japanese. Okay. So queen here I like because it hits the bishop. Maybe he just defends with a rook though, and that creates threats against my queen. So maybe that's no good. Queen here is also an idea, hitting this bishop, hitting this pawn. If he moves it, I would certainly love to put my knight here. And him defending it, I can just put more pressure on it indirectly. Maybe. I don't know. His king side's kind of like I'm trying to figure out how do I get my queen closer to his king. Like queen here with the idea of playing e5 or d5 would be fun. Trade the rest off and win. Yeah, I'm not sure. It's not that easy. Not quite that easy. I still need to press for positional advantages on top of being up a pawn. Okay. I just developed my bishop, my rook. This rook's obviously my worst piece, so c5 looks like a good place for him. And c4 is dangerous for him because my knight gets to a great square. That also cuts off his bishop, right? So this pawn's kind of a target already because he doesn't want to move it forward. Okay. So maybe queen here, actually, with the idea of transferring. I don't know. It hits the pawn. You can play knight here. No, I just take the pawn. Let's go here. Oh, but he can take this pawn. No, I would take his bishop. Yeah, okay. Let's go here. Knight a5. He could defend with the queen. That would have a nice thing though to knight a5 would have been good though, just to be able to trade off. But yeah, he could have just defended with the queen, and the queen defends both the pawn and the bishop. Yeah, I'm just looking at mostly just improving my worst pieces. So my queen was kind of my worst piece. This rook does a nice job of defending f7. My knight's kind of covering some squares. My queen wasn't really doing much back here, so. Okay, how do I get my queen here? Yeah, but the rook's now covering the square. It's not an issue anymore. Okay. So now if I move my knight, I'm still attacking this pawn. I don't really want to move my knight there, do I? I don't know what to do. Yeah, Foxy, I realize it does this, but attacking in the center, like I'm threatening to win a pawn here, and he has to deal with that. And if he pushes, then the bishop's dead. And if he doesn't push, then I have ideas here. If he takes, my knight becomes active. And I'm not so sure it's worth dismissing just because it means his bishop hits f7. He's not threatening to take it or anything right now. Um, and I'm attacking the center. Like I'm legit threatening to win another pawn here. And him releasing the tension with like f5 or whatever doesn't help him. Okay, so he's piling up the pressure here, so I can threaten to win a pawn, and then he takes a pawn, but his pawn doesn't come with check, right? Or at least the first one does. Yeah, I guess it does. Because so I get a center pawn, but he gets a pawn around my king. I can get another pawn though here. Oh, it's so tempting to trade pawns, but I'm weakening my king side. It's probably no good. Alright, let's just defend. Minor time trouble. Yeah, I know. I know. What in the world? Did my queen just get trapped? How in the world did that happen? I just trapped my own queen with rook c7, and he found it like that. Man. Rook c7 was so like a huge blunder. I had no idea. Man. So I'm not losing my queen, I don't think. after finding this move, because I'm just gonna give up a piece and I'm giving up a rook for free instead of a queen for a knight. If anyone asks, it was a knight sack. No, it's a rook sack. But I get 2 outside connected past pawns. If he takes this way, you know, I have this pawn. So I'm not, although he's getting this pawn. Ouch, ouch, ouch. Maybe there's some way to survive on the king side if I take this pawn. It might be too greedy. Yeah, I know. F7 is hanging again. But I'm hoping I just don't die, you know? Like, maybe he gets some pressure there, but I also have some stuff. Like, his king can be open, right? If he oh, he took that way. Oh, how interesting. So, queen here, he has to move his king, and then I don't have any more checks. You know, like a king here, and I'm out of checks. And this pawn is being hit like 4 times. I'm only defending it twice. Even hitting it a 3rd time isn't enough. He just takes like with a rook. Like if I go queen back, I can't even defend it a 3rd time. Yeah, I don't know what to do. I guess I just take this pawn. He's not going to take with his queen first, and then I can trade queens. But I'm just down a rook. Like I don't want to. I don't want to trade queens, but I don't know what to do here. I have a passed pawn. Not for long. I gotta go this way, right? Oh, this doesn't work, right? His bishop is always on the square. Ouch. Yeah, fuck yeah, I know. I know this is lost. I've been a rook down for quite a while, so I realize. Until my opponent is close to checkmate, or I don't have any passed pawns, like I don't ever resign. Like I still have a passed pawn, right? When he takes my last passed pawn, I'll resign. Oh, my bishop. Whoops. Oh no. Okay, and here he is taking my last passed pawn. Good game. Wow. Okay, so let's go into the analysis and figure. I think I played the opening well there. Let's see. Maybe the study you guys linked me to would be helpful here. But yeah. So let's make sure we know what. So Sicilian defense closed, and G6. It doesn't actually name a new thing here after F4. That's kind of funny actually. It doesn't say Grand Prix attack here, which is odd to me. But yeah, Bishop G7, Knight F3, and apparently D6 was no good. Knight C6 is the main move here. D6 has been played quite a bit, but yeah, Knight C6 is much more common. Did we transpose? Yeah, I played Knight C6 the next move, so looks like we probably transpose here. So Bishop C4 and Knight F6. Well, we haven't really transposed that much. Oh, I see. It's because bishop c4 isn't a common move either. Oh, no, it is. Wait, what am I thinking? Bishop c4, and now knight c6. Oh, I played knight f6? No, I didn't play knight c6. What's going on? Yeah, I played knight f6 wanting to castle. Yeah, this is not common. I waited long to play knight c6, but now I'm kind of transposing into the main line again. So queen e1 is the main move here, and he played a4 instead. A4 is not a move hardly. Bishop g4 is a good move. I played e6. No, I played bishop g4. No, I played bishop g4. That's not a move, but e6 is a move. Okay. Anyway. Oh, Grand Prix is only with knight c6. I see. I see. Bishop c4 is the old main line. Okay, I see what you're saying. So if you played if you played knight c6, then it's a Grand Prix attack. Otherwise, it's just some kind of random weird closed Sicilian. So from here, if I play knight c6, it still says closed variation. I don't know. Sicilian defense closed. d3, d6, bishop d2. Makes me want to search like Grand Prix attack. Like, just figure out what their move order is for the Grand Prix attack. Like I know that's a thing. But, Sicilian defense Grand Prix attack. There must be like a wiki something. Oh. Okay, so apparently it's without knight c3. You play e4, c5, f4, and this is okay. Now Lichess calls this the McDonald attack, but I have a reference here that calls this the Grand Prix attack. Huh. How interesting. Okay, so Fuxia has a study here. Let's look at this. The Trent on chess 24. 4, c5, knight c3, c6. So Fuxia, this you don't look into like when you send a link on a study, it doesn't actually like say which chapter to look at. So I'm not sure like which chapter or which game has the Grand Prix on it. Oh, here's an f4. Sicilian defense Grand Prix attack. I see. So if I had played 2 knight c6, then it would be a Grand Prix. But yeah, but 2 knight c6 is like the old Sicilian. Okay. The link is the chapter. Okay, so I was on chapter 3 just now, but no, I don't think the link goes to the chapter, does it? Maybe it does, and I'm stupid. Okay. Anyway. Okay, guys, I need to take a quick break, little quick bio break. So I'm gonna turn on Late Chess TV and have you guys watch this for just a minute. I'll be right back. Okay, I am back. I'm gonna go ahead and start a new game, I guess. I'm not really that motivated to learn openings right now. I just want to play. Oh, so this may very well be the last game of the stream, but we'll see. We'll see how it goes. Maybe it'll be a short game. I compare it down a little bit. Go with D4 as always. Watching tournaments, analyze games together. Oh, you guys are talking about improving in chess. Okay, so King's Indian. I've been playing this really strange line against the King's Indian, where I don't castle. I don't really know if I'm willing to go into that actually in a classical game. In Blitz, it's fun because it's sharp but yeah, no, I think I'm actually going to castle king side here and just play positional grind on the queen side. So f3 just stops a lot of black's king side play. But Fuxia claims he's still not good, but I beg to differ, Fuxia. I don't think I've ever beaten you in chess. So I will develop my queenside first, with like bishop e3 and queen d2, kind of scare him into thinking that I want to castle queenside, and then I'll develop my king side and castle. So you like inviting black to take on d4 to go into the Marazzi. It's interesting. Is that after they play c5 or e5? Or are you saying on either? On either, wow. Yeah, I don't know. I always lock it up, especially after e5. I like to play d5 just to keep the bishop behind the pawn. So this is all theory so far. So I think maybe I'll try something like that. Fuxia and Imhane both seem to think it's a decent idea. So the normal plan, I guess, is white is to go like bishop d3 and 92 and then castle, or just throw your pawns down and castle queen side. Yeah, I think I'm gonna go for this because after trades I do get the Marazzi bind, and I can always bring my bishop back if he moves his knight. So right now bishop d3 is not an issue because the pawn's being defended. So let's do that. Um, the Marazzi bind is one of those middle games that I haven't studied too much. I know a little bit about it, but there's one middle game that I studied recently. The isolated queen's pawn setup, and like I found a collection of like 20 or 30 different grandmaster games in the isolated queen's pawn uh, middle game, and it was really cool to like flip through them all at once and see them how they played. Okay, so now bishop. Well, actually, I don't need to move anything. I can just develop. I'm not I'm not at all concerned about him taking my light square bishop. Let's just develop. And Payne says, "Oh, I like it because black should actually try to exchange his dark square bishop to make a good knight versus white's bad light square bishop. But at my low rating, no one does that. Black should actually try to square his dark square bishop. Oh, I see. Yeah, I don't think either of us want to lose our dark square bishop. Honestly, he's got so many pawns on light squares, and so do I. Like losing the dark square bishop for either of us would be kind of an issue. Oh, Spirited Away. I thought I recognized this. Some nice music. From Lick to Bread, as always. Whoa, he played e5. Okay, that completely misses the issue with the so now this pawn is just perma weakness. Yeah, this completely misses the point of the Marazzi bind middle game. Like this move is no good. I'm very highly critical of this move. It's like almost a blunder in my eyes. Wow. So yeah, I can just move my bishop back, castle, double up my rooks on this pawn. Yeah, I'm living the good life here now. Man, e5. That's a good link. Imhane. It's an actual chess video. So we're both playing pretty fast for this time control. But I'm about to slow down though, and really, consider heavily about this pawn weakness because this is a really big deal for me. Like, if I can't punish Black for giving himself this backward pawn, I'm not sure. I'm not sure if I should be a streamer. Okay, so his ideas work here, I guess, but I always have b3, so it's not an issue. I don't mind opening up the diagonal because he's actually closed it for me. So it's a double problem with this move, right? He closes in his own bishop, and he creates this weak pawn on d6. So yeah, I'm just gonna go ahead and castle while I can. So now my plan is mostly going to revolve around winning this weak pawn. I'm going to improve my pieces, get my rooks to the center. It's an obvious first threat that I can make. So rook d1. So he's starting to slow down. I should probably slow down as well. I'm gonna lean back in my chair, my microphone back here a little bit. King knight b5 has 2 pawn threats. Oh, that's true. I guess you're saying KN for knight. Yeah. Usually you just say the capital letter N for knight. But yeah, Sly God, you're right. That would be a fork. I don't know. The trouble for me is I don't want my knight to capture on b6, or I'm sorry, on d6, because my knight could be pinned to my queen. I definitely would need to prepare that with like, I don't know. It just looks shaky there with the knight being pinned to the queen. But I suppose if he didn't defend it, like I would take with the queen instead. So maybe there's something to that. My c pawn though is hanging, so I have to deal with that first. b3. So knight takes right. He just goes here, and I'm not going to take this way because of the pin. So yeah, he's actually stopping that right now. But I was just thinking I wasn't going to play that anyway because after a6 I wouldn't take this way, and I couldn't afford to take this way. So all right. He was nice enough to give me the b6 square, so knight here to here would be fun at some point. Maybe I should threaten to do that now. How does he defend this pawn? Like if I go rook here, I guess he doesn't have to, right? Because the c pawn's like loose. So if my queen moves to take this pawn, he just takes here. So I think I'm gonna shore up this pawn with b3 before I do any of this attacking business. Yeah, Imhane, you're right. There's no reason to rush here. His pieces don't have many options. Like look at his bishop. The only safe squares his bishop can go are backward. His knight can go here, I guess. Wait, that loses a pawn. But why did he do that? I just take here twice. Okay, now I'm gonna think here for a minute because, like, he obviously thought about that move for a minute or two. Like, why did he make this move? Huh. I guess he has ideas of a pawn break at d5 once I take this way. So I take here and then like say queen takes, for example. I think he can get away with playing here because I'm threatening it 1, 2, 3 times. He's only defending it 3 times, but yeah, that's just enough, right? It would just be a bunch of trades. And if we ever trade that, if I ever trade that, for example, then his pawn discovering with his bishop becomes strong. I guess I just have to play that though because there's no other way to play this. I can't push or just like refuse to take the pawn. There's no good way to defend that pawn with a piece. So I have to take it. And the question for next move is whether or not take back with the knight or the queen. He's pre-moved that. So if I take with the knight, I'm threatening to take another pawn, but he just pushes, right? And if I take with the queen, he can still push. I have bishop here after he pushes. I don't know. So let's see. Takes, push. Takes, 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 takes. And then I would move my rook somewhere. But then this pawn is loose. Ouch. Yeah, what a move. Wow. Okay, let's cross that bridge when we get there. Anything he moves to the square, I can pin to the queen, which is a good thing to know. The Pina soundtrack. Some nice. Oh, request by the Fuxia. Nice. Oh, wow. So knight here just completely misses the whole thing I was worried about. Okay. Wow. Okay, so I'm just going to develop my rook now. Yeah, what in the world is this? I guess he wants to play f5 or knight f4. I don't know. I'm just going to keep developing. Okay, I was looking at that just now. I think my decision was to go here, just with the tempo on this pawn. Because you can't go here, right? Just take this. Oh, maybe you can actually, because rook takes here. He wins this knight. That's a fork. Yeah, I think that is actually a move, but he didn't play it. Okay. All right, so now he's threatening mate in one. Guess it's a good move. But now his knight is pinned. If I save the mate, like if I just go knight here, for example. Knight here, I'm a little bit concerned about h4, h5, because I don't have h4 as a response. H5 threatening h4. What do I even do? I could take the knight. You have to take with the pawn. And he has this. But that's not an issue. I'm just taking his pawn here. Yeah, let's do that. Oh, do I take with the knight or the bishop? If I take with the bishop, then I can take here, right? If I take with the knight, then this is a tempo on my bishop. Like this is a threat. I'll take with the bishop. Hope I'm not missing anything here. He has to take with the pawn. That opens up his bishop, but I'm winning another pawn here. I'm threatening to win like a third pawn. I suppose he goes bishop here, threatening the queen, defending the pawn. Is that bad for me? I just go bishop back here, or queen back here. Maybe I'm becoming passive in that situation. I don't know. If knight takes, pawn takes, bishop back. Oh, I could go bishop forward. Starting to. Oh wait, I just have g3, don't I? Like Wait, no, g3. You can go here with check. I'm also not threatening to take it with the pawn, right? Because the pawn's pinned. g3 is just weakening. Let's not do that. I kind of like it after knight takes that I have rook up to defend. Like, say if he goes bishop h3. Yeah, let's go knight takes. Okay, and then knight, and then bishop here. Yeah, not Nian Gao, you're right. I mean, g3 is just a little bit too risky, I think. He already has some kind of kingside pressure here. So I just need to consolidate again and get my pieces coordinated. Because I've won a pawn, right? And I still have targets. These pawns could become really strong if I could just get my pieces working together. Playing my knight here would be a great fun, I think. Yeah, we'll see what happens. I'm looking at like bishop h3. I'm trying to decide which rook. I mean, I think rook here would be a mistake because of bishop takes. So this rook here would be necessary. But then he has stuff like rook here, right? It's tricky. Maybe both rooks would have to go to the. Okay, so he doesn't go for any of that. All right, so maybe I've just moved my king to like h1 to avoid all this nonsense with g2. Cool, Niangao. All right. So I think I just take here and take here. Like, I'm not really concerned about anything anymore. I don't think. I mean, wait, takes. Here, here. Yeah, it should be fine. I mean, he has this, but then I can go here. Okay, let's just trade down. So now I'm 2 pawns up, and they're outside connected pass pawns. Yeah, Fuxia. That's what I ended up doing. So my next idea, I guess, is knight here to threaten this pawn. It also just seems like a great square for the knight in general. So he's got the idea of attacking g2, but with the pawn instead of the bishop, I guess. And I still have the same way to meet it, right? So let's just continue on with the knight here. So my idea is rook here, rook here, rook here. I've just got all my rooks on the second. I'm defending his threats. I have to do this. I can't take this pawn, right, because of mate. So let's go here first. I can take this pawn next move, probably. Valerian tea. Do cats like valerian root? I didn't know that. Or do they not like valerian root? What kind of crazy is it? Inflexia? Is it the crazy happy crazy, or is it crazy mad crazy? Okay, so now... Oh, well, is that an issue? If I take here, he can take here, and I take there. Yeah. Oh, I see. He takes my queen, and now my rook is not defended. That's no good. That's no good at all. Suddenly that move looks stronger than I expected at first. If I go queen here, then he has rook here, and then he can take this rook. Oh, but I can actually defend with the queen, so that my g2 pawn doesn't hang. So I think this is gonna have to be the answer. I also could check here and then play rook up. He loves it. He tries to get in your glass. Wow. Interesting. I've never heard that about cats in Valerian. Okay, so I'm going to check actually. And then maybe I'll just take this and then go here. I'm not sure. I don't really want it to allow him to come into the back and check. Seems like he can get one of his pawns back. Because if I go here to defend, he can take. But then I'm in a rook. I'm in a rook end game with 3-on-4 over here, which is hard to make a pass pawn. And then I have 2 protected passers over here. So the 2 protected passers with a rook end game should be good enough. So yeah, I don't think I'm worried about all the trades happening. If he, So yeah, I think just rook d2 now. Trade, rook d2. He's got rook c1 check. That looks really bad actually. That's losing. Because king f1, he's got queen here check. That's just mate. All right, so let's not allow mate. So king d2 instead of rook takes. Yeah. I saw it, guys. Yeah, the rook trade would be really bad for me. And if rook d2, it's not the same issue, right? Yeah. Wait, no, mate for you. Oh my god, there's mate and 1 on the board. Oh, you're not supposed to give me the move. Yeah, mate and 1 on the board. I totally was not thinking about that. Oh, man. That was a much easier ending to the game than I was planning on, because I was planning on winning a rook end game being 2 pawns up. But yeah, this is much easier. Checkmate's a lot easier. Boy. That's okay. That's okay. I mean, the move was there, whether I was looking for it or not. But yeah, this is all kind of crazy, right? With my knight being pinned and my rooks being undefended and my queen being kind of like in the middle of it all. Like I was worried. I just wanted to defend everything. But yeah, this is like I was just looking at this check as a way to move my queen out of danger with tempo. Like, that's the only reason I was putting him in check. Turns out he had a blunder. You know, if he had gone here, he'd have been fine. I don't know. Actually, there I had knight check. I don't know. Maybe he was worried about that. And then there's a knight discovery winning the queen or something. Let's go back. Actually, if he'd played in the analysis board. So if he'd played king h7, there's a knight check. Oh, he could play king h6. That would have been better. Yeah, king h6 is like the only move. There's knight here. There's check. Oh, he can still go up at the h6. Huh. Let's see. Yeah, just mate in 1. Other moves, I was considering rook to d2. That's not even on the list. Wow. Does rook d2 like lose or something? No, I'm still winning. Okay. But not by much. But his other moves, like king back or, yeah, just king up. What do I do here? Rook cd2. Oh, that's interesting. Yeah, just tripling up and forming this battery. That's nice, actually. Why didn't I consider? I only considered like this for some reason. Rook cd2, rook e2, rook f2, rook b2. All these moves are about equal, relatively equal. Rook cd2 is best. But yeah, tense game go. Hey, Swag God. You know, chess.com's not allowed here, unfortunately. If there's like, I used to consider that maybe it might be okay to link to chess.com for like a forum post that talks about a particular strategy or whatever. But then I just like, no, no, I don't want anybody to be tempted to go over to that site. As bad as it is, Lichess is so much better. So that's why I don't allow it. Even if there is some content over there that's interesting, there's content just like that somewhere else. Okay. Anyway, yeah. So it's almost 5:30. It's about quitting time for Chess with Chris. Thanks for showing up, everybody. Let's actually do a raid. We haven't done a raid in a while. So I don't know how many of you are here right now. There's 12 of you. Yeah, stick around. Let's head to another channel altogether. I'll start my YouTube upload and start to chat with you guys in the next channel. Let's see who's here. Oh, Mellow Mood Dude. This guy also Mellow Mood Dude's also famous for having song request. So let's go raid Mellow Mood Dude. So you guys, if you haven't followed Mellow Mood Dude, make sure to do that because he's the man as far as song request goes. He does it even more often than I do. So yeah, we'll see you guys later. Thanks for watching. We'll see you next time.